Romance in anime is unlike anything else. It doesn't just show you love, it makes you feel it in your chest, in the silence between words, in the things that are never said out loud. These 5 stories are not just watches, they are experiences you carry with you long after the credits roll. Here are the top 5 romance anime that will break your heart and make you grateful for every second of the breaking. Number 5. Horimiya. Horimiya looks deceptively simple from the outside. A popular girl and a quiet loner fall in love. But the genius of the show is in the layers it hides beneath that premise. Hori Kyoko is the class idol, energetic, well-liked, seemingly perfect, who goes home every day to a chaotic house where she essentially raises her little brother alone. Miyamura Izumi is the unremarkable, forgettable guy at the back of the class, until Hori discovers that outside of school, he's covered in tattoos and piercings that would shock everyone who thinks they know him. What makes their dynamic so compelling is what they give each other: permission. Permission to be the person they actually are, instead of the person everyone expects. Hori doesn't have to be perfect at home. Miyamura doesn't have to be invisible at school. They hold each other's secrets, and in doing so, they become each other's safest place. Horimiya refuses to manufacture drama. There are no drawn-out misunderstandings, no love rivals engineered to create tension. The couple gets together relatively early, and then the show does something radical. It just lets them be together. It trusts that watching 2 people choose each other in small, everyday ways is enough to break you open. And it is. Horimiya earns its tears through its ordinariness. It makes you miss something you never had, or makes you ache for something you once did. The kind of love story that quietly rearranges something inside you without you noticing until it's over. Number 4. The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. Mahiru Shina is the kind of person you see from across a crowded hallway and immediately understand that her life operates on a different plane than yours. Effortlessly beautiful, impeccably composed, seemingly cold to anyone who tries to get close. Her neighbor, Amane Fujimiya, is a self-described ordinary guy who actively wants nothing to do with her. Until a rainy evening when he finds her sitting on a park bench, soaking wet and stubborn as a wall. He lends her an umbrella. That single act of reluctant kindness tears a hole in the walls she has spent years building. The beauty of these 2 characters is how they peel back each other's armor without ever trying to. Mahiru, who has been treated as an ideal to admire rather than a person to know, is completely disarmed by Amane's total lack of interest in her image. He sees her burn food, he sees her tired, he sees her real, and he doesn't run. Amane, who had accepted solitude as his default state, finds that having someone who shows up at his door changes everything he thought he wanted. This show is a masterclass in restraint. The love between Mahiru and Amane is built entirely from small things. Meals left at the door, a blanket on the couch, a hand reached for in the dark and then immediately pulled back. Every gesture carries enormous weight precisely because neither of them will admit what it means. The tension isn't will they or won't they, it's watching 2 people who already love each other learn to say it out loud. The Angel Next Door aches because it feels almost possible. Not a grand, impossible love across time or tragedy, just the neighbor you never noticed, and all the evenings you could have spent together if you'd only knocked on the door a little sooner. Number 3. Love Through a Prism. Love Through a Prism places its love story inside one of history's most suffocating social structures, Victorian England. Kit is a young man shaped by duty, by family expectation, by a world that has already written the story of his life without consulting him. Lily exists in that same world, but at a completely different altitude, navigating a society that judges her worth by categories she had no hand in choosing. What they find in each other is something the world around them has no name for and no tolerance of. Two people who see each other clearly, without the filters of rank or role or expectation.
Kit and Lily are not rebels by nature. They are not trying to burn down the system. They are simply two people who made the mistake of being honest with each other in a world that punishes that kind of honesty. Their relationship grows in stolen moments, letters passed carefully, conversations held at the edges of proper society, glances across rooms full of people who must never notice. The intimacy they build is all the more powerful for being so deliberately small. The tragedy here is architectural. The show doesn't give you a single villain to blame or a single moment to point to. It is simply the accumulated weight of a world that was not built for them. Every episode adds another layer to what they cannot have. Every tender moment is shadowed by the knowledge of what surrounds it. By the time the show reaches its conclusion, you will feel the full weight of that architecture pressing down. And you will feel it long after the screen goes dark. Love Through a Prism breaks you quietly and completely. It lingers in every frame, in the way light falls on period detail, in the charged space between two characters who cannot touch. It dares you to look away. You will not be able to. Number 2. A Silent Voice. A silent voice begins with an act of courage most storytellers would not attempt. It forces you to sit with the fact that the person whose story you are following is a bully. Shoya Ishida made Shoko Nishimiya's elementary school life a living nightmare. He mocked her deafness relentlessly. He destroyed 6 pairs of her hearing aids. He orchestrated a social exclusion so total that the entire class turned against her. And when the consequences arrived, he let Shoko take the blame. She transferred away. He watched her go. And then spent the next 6 years learning what guilt actually weighs. When Shoya tracks Shoko down years later, he has taught himself sign language. Not as an apology, not as a grand gesture of redemption, just because he wanted to be able to actually speak to her, to finally be present with someone he spent years erasing. The person Shoko has become is not who you might expect. She is gentle, tentative, and quietly brave in a way that makes Shoya's past actions feel heavier, not lighter. Her choice to engage with him anyway is one of the most moving acts in the entire film. What A Silent Voice does that almost no other romance manages is make you feel the full cost of love. Every tender moment between Shoya and Shoko is underwritten by everything that came before. The pain that hasn't fully healed, the trust that must be earned in real time, the way two damaged people move around each other with enormous care. The film doesn't offer easy absolution. It asks a harder question. Can a person genuinely become different? And it answers by showing you the work. A Silent Voice earns every one of its tears. When Shoya and Shoko finally stand on the same side of themselves, open, present, real, it hits with the weight of everything that had to be undone and rebuilt to reach that moment. It is the most honest love story anime has ever told. Number 1. Your Lie in April. Your Lie in April begins in silence. And that silence is not metaphorical. Kosei Arima was a piano prodigy, so technically precise that other musicians called him a human metronome. He won every competition. He played every note perfectly. Then his mother died, and the music stopped. He sits at the piano, and the sound simply does not reach him anymore. By the time he enters high school, he has quietly removed himself from the world, going through every motion of living without inhabiting any of it. He exists in a world that has lost all color. Kaori Miyazono plays violin like the rules of music are a personal insult. Her performances are wild, emotional, technically controversial, and completely, devastatingly alive. She does not play to win competitions. She plays to reach people. When she decides Kosei will be her accompanist, she does not ask.
From the moment she enters his life, she treats his silence as something to be answered rather than accommodated. She is right. The show is in no hurry to reveal its hand. It lets you fall in love first. With Kaori, with the music, with the specific quality of spring light in the animation, with the way Kosei slowly starts to hear himself play again. It builds something genuinely beautiful, and it does it with such confidence that you almost don't notice the shadow growing at the edges. The secret at the center of the story, when it finally arrives, does not feel like a twist. It feels like the truth the show was always telling you. You were just too in love to listen. Your Lie in April is #1 because it understands something true about love. The people who change your life don't always stay in it. That loss is not the opposite of love. Sometimes it is its most complete expression. Kusei will play music for the rest of his life, and every note will be a letter to Kaori. That is not tragedy. That is immortality. 5 anime. 5 different shapes of love. 5 different ways the heart can break and be made larger for it. The quiet tenderness of Horimiya. The soft danger of the angel next door. The impossible beauty of love through a prism. The earned grace of a silent voice. The transforming grief of Your Lie in April. Which one found you? Drop it in the comments and subscribe because there are so many more stories out there worth breaking your heart over.